Yeah, we're live.
Hello, I'm Matt Bergman, and you are listening to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 256. I'm here tonight with Jared Schneiderman.
What up?
Philip Dassing.
What is up?
Kyle Wagner.
Hey, guys.
Wow, very proper.
And David Gregg.
Dude, I'm trying to fucking do something. Don't
Dude, this is a podcast.
bother me.
Why
God.
don't you do this?
God. I'm like doing something on my phone. Hey, everybody. I guess.
Okay, topic number one for tonight is it's got to be the Rage Against the Machine reunion shows.
Are you going, dude?
No,
Why not, dude? I thought you loved Rage
I
Against
don't
the
know.
Machine.
Have you seen Rage before?
No.
Like I actually did, and it wasn't like I went and bought Rage Against the Machine tickets. Like I went to the HF Festival.
Oh.
Yeah, with like, and honestly, there was not one band there I wanted to see. It was just kind of like, you ever have like a bunch of you ever have a bunch of friends going to a concert,
Yeah.
and it's just like a bunch of people that you know, and it's like, oh, this could be fun, just like hanging out with friends. So I went there for that, and they were playing. I didn't even watch them though.
Oh, man.
Actually, I think I have the exact same story.
Oh, were you at that one?
Oh, yeah.
I think Central Pilots were playing that year.
Oh, probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. I saw so many bands that I don't remember at those HF festivals.
Yeah, and then
the
Like Limp
Nutcrackers, too.
Bizkit?
and then
Oh,
you know,
yeah, totally saw Limp Bizkit. I
Hell
think,
yeah, dude.
but I don't remember.
Hell yeah, bro.
well, yeah, the thing about me,
Corn action?
that was actually the most mainstream concert that I have ever been to.
Wow,
right?
dude. You're a real
Um,
hipster.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just like a real punk rocker. I'm into like fucking punk rock, like the name of the podcast. So that was
I thought this was the hipster libertarians.
no. So, anyways, like I went there just to hang out with friends, and then I think by the time it was done, I was like, or by the time I was there, I was just like, I don't know. It was,
Probably too high to care.
it just no. I mean, it just like wasn't like, it just wasn't super enjoyable. There wasn't like one band there. I can't remember seeing one band that day and enjoying it.
About Sublime. Do you not like Sublime?
Do I like Sublime? I do like some Sublime.
I thought that they were at those at that time. HFS was huge.
Well, this would have been
Involved
after
more.
Bradley Knoll died. So
it was right around there, though.
Nah,
It's,
he died in like the mid
96.
90s.
yeah, you know, Bradley
when,
Knoll.
when were these HF
You saw him
festivals?
there?
Late 90s?
Like
No,
90,
no,
yeah, like
uh,
98, 99.
Yeah,
So it's
Kyle.
close.
Bradley Knoll actually died. Like I think it was like a month or two before the self-titled Sublime record came out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was like he died before they got big. They blew up after he died.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
weird. It was like it was
I
slated
thought
to
it was
come
like
out.
just after, but okay.
Yeah, it was slated to come out, and then he OD'd, and I guess they still put it out because it was good songs, and it just like took off.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's pretty weird. But at any rate, yeah. So I did, like I said, I don't even remember if I saw any of Rage, but I remember like being there and like the stadium, and I could hear it going on outside. You know, it's just never been my thing. As far as Rage goes, I did own the first tape because my buddy Rob, I think he had the tape and then he bought the CD, so he just gave me the tape. And like I just never cared for the entire album. With Rage, for those first two records, I dug their radio songs. I thought they were catchy and they were, they were aggressive. But whenever I heard the album, it's just like I'm a big album guy. If I can't listen to the record all the way through and think it kicks ass, I'm not interested in listening to it.
I'm just a big guy.
You know, and then like with the second Rage album, I thought it was like a little bit better, but I still did not dig the entire album. I think I had a copy of that on tape. Like I copied it off of that same friend.
I don't know which one was the first and which one was the second. I remember
The first was just self-titled, and then the second one, Evil Empire.
Yeah.
I think I have both of those on CD.
Of course you do, Chad.
Because one of them like it has a yellow cover with like a target or something on the front, and I think that's the Bulls on Parade one.
I think it's like a yellow cover with like a superhero type character.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
front.
Is that Evil Empire?
No, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
it's with
Evil
like the
Empire.
little kid super character.
Yeah.
Superhero.
Yeah, well, superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
Super-
Yeah, I have that.
But
But
the thing about Rage Against the Machine is I respect them, like as musicians.
Why
I
do you
think-
respect them?
Because I mean, musically, not necessarily politically, but like musically, like nobody had sounded anything.
I mean, I
like
would at
that.
least
Is
extend that to
correct?
Tom Morello.
Okay, well, I mean,
Well, yeah.
I mean, I think as a guitarist, Tom Morello definitely broke down some barriers as far as like what sounds you could produce with a guitar and
well, but musically, dude, if you listen to like a Clutch record, who were around like a couple years longer. And I mean, the music to a lot of Rage Against the Machine songs could be a Clutch song. Only Clutch would probably play it like a little bit faster. And those are actually guys from Maryland.
Right. I'm just specifically talking about his guitar playing.
Well,
I don't know that I would draw a similarity there at all.
I mean, I would, because it's like bluesy drop D stuff, So it's both those bands have that in common. Now Tom Morello, it's like he's able to like make up for like natural talent with like throwing effect pedals in there.
Right.
That's the cool part.
He does do some.
And like,
He does some crazy stuff with
the
effects.
kill switch. I mean,
he does some
came out
crazy
with
stuff
that.
with effects.
Yeah.
And like, I know a lot of guitar players, and it's like I feel like they're just like mean to him because it's like he does some like fucking really cool shit.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's some guitar players want you to play like fucking like Marty Friedman, and if you don't, you're not talented. But I mean, I'd say Tom Morello is very talented. The interesting thing about the Rage reunion is these are guys that at least Tom Morello, he wore the hat that said commie, so you just get the idea that they're like a communist band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then these Rage tickets, from what I'm seeing, they're going for upwards of $300, right?
Well, see, hold on. That's a little bit of fake news, though.
Okay, tell us.
The fake
Jared.
news aspect is that's from scalpers. So they have no control, and they actually tried to undercut the scalpers.
That's not true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
it
true.
is.
Scalpers? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, dude.
Well, who's scalpers? StubHub?
Yeah, they are scalpers. They buy up the tickets ahead of time, and then they charge higher rates. I mean, it's legal. It's not against the law to do it, but tickets that you're buying at face value from like the Rage's website, the maximum I think they are selling any ticket is $120. And they actually sold a bunch of.
That's so absurd.
Well, yeah,
Dude,
but those were like charity tickets.
But Jared,
those were like
shouldn't Rage Against the Machine tickets be rationed out accordingly to each according to their needs?
I mean, look,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You should have to submit your tax returns to Rage Against the Machine to get in priority for tickets.
Yeah, it should be only people of color first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, I'm not. Whatever. I'm just saying
Like
the
fascist.
$400 ticket stuff. That's just some like
Well,
Daily Caller fake news shit.
Okay, so you're saying the most expensive tickets are $125? You're saying
$120 is the most expensive sanctioned ticket.
is that factual?
Yeah.
Well, this is an economics lesson, right? The price that they're charging is below the demand for these tickets, so it creates an opportunity for scalpers to buy them in bulk and then turn around and flip them and sell them for the true market value, which
Well,
I guess is upwards of $300.
I mean,
There's a
it
lot of
sounds like-
demand to see Rage.
It sounds like that's pretty much every show these days.
I mean, not necessarily. There
Is
are
it like-
shows that don't even sell out.
Well, I
Lots
mean-
of shows.
Yeah, I think was it like 6 months ago, Avail announced that they were doing a reunion show, right?
Okay.
And I think that their tickets sold out in like 30 seconds or something,
Less
right?
than that.
Yeah.
It was literally like 2 seconds because everybody was trying to get the tickets. So I ended up having to buy one for I think $190, and I ended up paying $230 after the surcharge. And it was real sketchy too. It wasn't like a solid app. It was like this. I mean, the app was just a disaster.
Now,
Yeah,
and then like what Avail did was they announced that okay, here's what we're gonna do. The following week, we're gonna do another show, right? In their hometown of Virginia, of Richmond, Virginia, and we're gonna sell the tickets. And like for the first like few hours or whatever, we're just gonna sell them at the box office. So you have to go there. And then apparently people were driving up from like Florida to buy
one
Avail
guy,
tickets.
The first guy in line had driven. Like as soon as he heard that they were going to be selling tickets in Richmond, the guy got in his car and drove from fucking Florida.
And for that second show, didn't they actually sell out at the venue? Like I believe, wasn't it?
I think so. I tried to get tickets for both days, and it didn't happen. And then after that, that's when I went online and bought a scalper ticket. But then they released that they were doing other shows, so it was a good time though, worth every penny. So
Did this already happen?
yeah, it was earlier in 2019. I want to say it was like July.
I was gonna say the summertime, right?
Yeah, that was a good show, man.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so Jared, so I guess you're a pretty big Rage fan, comrade?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
What's your favorite song, Jared?
I don't know, man.
Which T-shirt do you like to wear the best?
Dude,
I
inside
mean,
out, man.
I'm not trying to defend them as communists. I'm just defending Tom Morello as a guitarist, and I'm also saying I don't think they're doing anything. They're not going beyond any other regular musician that's like a super popular, high in demand musician and charging any more money.
I'm just
They're not
saying,
like Led Zeppelin selling like $400 tickets for their like reunion show. You know,
should not their reunion be free, held across the street from the White House, financed by Michael Bloomberg?
Sure. That'd be cool. But that wouldn't really be a tour, would it? That would just be one show.
Did you guys see Cal's appearance at the Mike Bloomberg event in Richmond? Speaking of Vail,
No, what happened?
No.
Cal Malinay, him and his Liberate RVA guys went to a free. It was an event that they were giving out free drinks, and they just apparently they had a lot of them. And when the speech started coming on, the one guy just started screaming. They all had like "Gun Save Lives" buttons on, and from the back he called him a fucking fascist. He just started screaming like "fucking fascist." Fucking
Wait, this was in the
in the like Mike Bloomberg's in the back. This is on video. You go to go to Cal Malinay's page or I shared it everywhere I could. It was fucking hilarious. And then on the way after they're all getting kicked out, they started this huge chant of "Gun Save Lives." It was pretty awesome. And like you see these people just so butthurt, these boomers coming over and like hitting them. And like, yeah, just getting in their
Hitting
faces.
them?
Yeah, like pushing them and stuff. Assault.
People must have been so confused. They must have been like, "What is their political ideology?"
Right, I
because
love doing that.
you're calling them fascists, which makes you think, okay, this person's far left, and then they're like, "Guns save lives." You know, it's like
Right.
you're all over the map. You
Well,
know,
that's what's
Like,
cool. Like that's why whenever like there's ever like a leftist publication, like say like Washington Post or something like that, they start calling for gun control. I always say arm the proletariat, and I always say like fascists only want to take away guns, and it just confuses the hell out of people because they just don't expect that type of dialogue because they haven't been exposed.
So
to it.
are you against arming the bourgeoisie as well?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Wow,
I don't know if
dude.
I just think it's cool like for people to say it and be represented because they're not
Yep.
saying it.
So I thought,
Well, I mean,
the Marxists aren't saying it.
far left people are saying
But they're
that.
not the ones trolling the Washington Post comment section on Facebook.
No, that's just you, Phil.
well,
That's just you and your no life having ass.
yeah.
back to Rage real quick. I mean, they've been like super political in their music, and I guess as a teenager, I just kind of like the rebellious kind of sound, and I didn't really listen that closely to the lyrics and the message in the lyrics. You know, he's saying wake up," and the one, and you know, talking about.
Would you say that Rage Against the Machine grounded you in statism?
No, I actually went more toward anarchy for a period of time there. You know, I kind of went from Ron Paul to like Rothbard, and then sort of back to Ron Paul. You know, and that's where I'm at right now. I still, you know, that small government.
There's a lot of stuff they sing
classical-
about that isn't explicitly communist. That's just sort of anti-state,
Oh yeah,
anti-authority, like
yeah. And
calling out like some of those that burn crosses are the same that work forces, or I think I switched that around.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
Whatever.
Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses.
So
Yeah.
He's talking about like racist police, essentially, right?
What
So
could have?
do you think Tom Morello still wants to arm the homeless?
I mean, I've never heard him say anything that's gun control, that's advocating for gun control. Have you?
No, I can't say that I have.
Why are you
but
yawning so much?
No, it's just like God, they just pissed me off so bad.
I can't say that I have, but I would imagine he backs Democrats.
Of course. Well, dude, Pete Buttigieg came out in support of it. He said, "Heck yeah." He's like, used to love that S. You know,
Turn that S up.
Yeah.
That's what he said in the tweet.
Yeah,
I
turn
saw
that
that.
S up. Yeah, that's right.
Censored.
What a,
himself.
What were you gonna
what
say,
a
Dave?
fucking CIA bitch.
How much? So how much were the Rage tickets going for? Like when
Over
the
300.
No. I'm saying like when they were selling their tickets, how much were they going for?
120.
120 was the highest price ticket.
Okay, so that was it, right? Like that's the highest price that they were selling them for, not coming from a scalper, from
Right,
like StubHub
not
or
coming
something
from
like that.
resellers. Yeah.
Okay, so like 120.
Yeah.
And so what was like the lowest of them?
I'm not sure. About
Okay,
that.
all right. So now
Probably
they're going
like
for
$60. You know.
So
80
now they're
bucks.
going for what? How much?
I haven't looked.
300 around that price. That's the price point.
Okay.
Everyone keeps
So
about 300,
are
400,
people
something like
angry at the 120 or are they angry at the 300?
300.
300.
Okay, so they're not really angry at Rage Against the Machine, right?
A little
Well,
bit.
they think
Some
they are,
yeah.
but they don't
They think they
understand
are.
how reselling tickets
Right.
works.
Okay,
But-
and it's not. What could Rage Against the Machine do?
They can't.
They could have.
Well, they did. They tried
could
to.
they have done?
They tried. So they tried to charge more for those $120 tickets, and those are like all that money goes to charity, and they get like, front row seats or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
They get like special seats. So it was somehow supposed to encourage people to, instead of buying this high scalping prices. Why are you laughing,
I
bro?
just can imagine people like, hell yeah, I hate the fucking Republicans. I'm gonna go see Rage Against the Machine front row. Like that's gonna show them.
Well, I don't know if it was going to like Trump charities.
Oh,
I think it's
of
just like
Of course.
probably-
Then why didn't they do this during the Obama years? They're doing this now. They're capitalizing off all the hatred. This is what this is only going to be.
Maybe they're out of money.
yeah. That's
Maybe
why
they
that's-
just
Maybe that's true.
maybe they're
'Cause
like,
I was gonna
hey,
say, if they had enough money, that they could have done is purchased all the tickets themselves and then resold them at their own prices and give a little bit of.
you could just do a giveaway, first come, first serve, or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't blame Rage for
A bunch of homeless people.
you know, participating in capitalism. Right? They live in a capitalist
Well,
society.
I mean, I guess if you're wearing
Hold on, hold on.
if you wear a hat that says commie,
I mean,
Hold on 1 second. Speaking of capitalism,
Oh yeah, here we go.
someone in the comments section, Nicholas,
Hi, Nick.
has said, "I will buy $50 in PRL merch if Kyle says Marx was right on this podcast." Take one for the team,
it.
dude.
He was, wait. He was right about certain things. Just Marx was right.
No, you can't.
About
You can't
guns,
couch
Marx
it,
was
man.
right.
You can't couch it. That's not fair.
No, don't count. Just I'll say
Marx
this.
was right
Marx-
about
No,
the division of the classes.
I don't think he want. Like, does that
Say it.
count? Does that
You don't
count?
think there's different classes? You don't think?
No, that's
No,
one of
we're
his
all the same
biggest.
class?
Wait,
That's one of his-
Before we even get into it, do you guys even have $50 worth of merch to sell?
Of course we do.
You do. Okay, like T-shirts. Like this guy's
T-shirts.
gonna have to buy the
So
same
have to
T-shirt.
buy. You could buy a really nice. Or you could buy a hoodie for like $40, and then
Okay.
and then a T-shirt.
And then a T-shirt. So he's up
Yeah.
to like,
so
what,
you
55?
got your
There you
got
go.
your
And if you use the
summer
code-
and your winter gear.
Yeah, if you use the code PRL or PRL podcast, he gets 10% off.
No kidding. Really, Phil?
I kid you not.
Phil doesn't lie about
Okay,
that.
sorry. Go on.
Don't
lie.
You
Yeah,
were saying
dead
about Marx.
serious.
I mean, I think one of his biggest mistakes was to, take the class system that they had in feudalism, where they had a legal system of classes where people were literally like they were put into boxes from birth. You know, it's like you're born into a class and you can't change your
The
class.
class determinism, I would disagree with,
But we don't have legal classes. You know, we might have poor, middle, rich, like different income levels, but you see all the time people that have nothing and then make millions of dollars, or that have millions of dollars and go bankrupt. Like people swing, or somebody
But you
that's
don't think that a lot of culture is determined by class?
it's just I don't want to confuse it with like it. People say, "Oh, you're proletariat," and then it's like, "Well, what if you start a business? Then are you then a capitalist? Like, did you change your class just because?"
Yeah. You moved up in your caste system, dude.
But it's not even a caste system because you can't.
All
even,
we have to lose is
you
our
can't
bare
even
face.
say
Not
that
saying
a
it is.
business owner is necessarily making more money than workers. There are workers at businesses that make more than owners. You know, and there are owners that don't make anything, that they lose everything and go bankrupt. So just because you're a business owner or have invested money in a business,
I guess it's the way that he structured the classes that I would disagree with.
Just say.
But the idea that
Well, no, wait, hold on. Just say Marx was right-handed. And just cut it off.
I don't think I'll say it. Marx was right-handed, but I don't think
There you go. He
I
said
don't-
it.
he said it,
I don't think that'll.
You
No,
quote-
it
I don't think
quoted-
that'll qualify.
you quoted Marx was right, but you didn't say
Yeah.
that
At
there
least
could
that's a
be
soundbite that you can
prefix
chop
or a
up.
postfix
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
chop up
there.
that soundbite
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we'll give it out
We'll
to
make it like
Kylosphere.
let's make it like
Can we
a
make a
YouTube
soundboard?
music video.
We'll make a
Marx
soundboard
was
out
right.
of it.
Marx was right.
No, but the
I'm just
liber-
gonna call people and prank call people and just have Kyle saying Marx was right. Marx was right.
The,
Right. Marx was.
That sounds like an awesome jam, dude.
I'm Kyle.
the libertarian to alt-right pipeline, they posted a meme this week that was
Oh,
like,
I saw that.
Kyle, can you say
Wait,
this
is that a page?
Kyle,
Yeah.
can you say real quick? Can you say this is Kyle Wagner?
this is Kyle Wagner.
Okay,
There
cool.
we go.
So we got that too.
All
Got
right,
it.
you got everything you need to splice it
Yeah.
together. It's like this is Dwayne Stump, you know.
So wait, what is this page called?
The libertarian to alt-right pipeline.
And are they making fun of libertarians?
I think the guy was at one time like a Hoppian or an ANCAP, and then became farther and farther right, and
Yeah.
now is like basically a Trumper. And he did make a page
So
about.
this is a
But
home.
very
This is a home
anti-capitalist.
for these people.
It's
not
yeah,
mocking them.
No.
yeah. No, it's not ironic.
They're
It's
embracing
serious.
the pipeline.
They
Yeah.
love the
They
pipeline.
love the pipeline.
Yeah. So I mean,
They like to lay that pipe.
the post
In
he
their butt.
actually took a leftist talking point and
butts.
was like, all you people who say you're capitalists and think you're capitalists, you're actually workers. That's
You're
what
shilling for
you
the
know.
billionaire
You're
class.
shilling for billionaires and millionaires and the people who are exploiting you when you're actually just a worker. And that's a typical Marx point and a typical leftist talking point.
True.
And it's not correct. I mean, you as a worker are benefiting. You're getting compensated to to you're selling your labor, you're selling your time,
Right.
and they're buying it. You know, that's benefiting you to get that paycheck, and then you can go home and buy nice cars.
But would
and
you? What about the
televisions
idea
and-
of having a? And maybe I'm going outside of Marx, but do you not think there is a certain elite class, and then sort of everybody else, like the 1%, but not necessarily based on net worth, but based on your connection to the machinery of government? So you have, your politicians, your government contractors, and it kind of spreads out from there.
I mean, maybe, but it's such a big country, and there's so many millions of people. Like, lots of people don't even know each other. I mean, you can't really say like, oh,
Yes,
there's this little club, and they're the in crowd, and no one else. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you can rise through the ranks of politics and become a name in local politics, and then get into state politics, and then get into national politics, and
Or you could just be groomed by the CIA
But I don't know. Like,
CFR.
You don't think there's a small group of? I'm not speaking conspiratorially per se, but like there are a certain group. Why we continue to see the same foreign policy year after year after year. I think it's because there is an elite sort of group that's sort of pulling the strings, sort of influencing politics, that has been around for years and years and years throughout the beginning of like neoconservatism.
Yeah, that's who
And
we would call them as neocons.
Yeah,
or
Right, but I would say
neoconservatives.
that
Yeah,
this is a
Kyle,
different
it's like that
class.
time when you
Or
were telling me
lizard
about the
Or, yeah,
reptilians.
or reptilians.
Yeah. I mean, there is like the Council of Foreign Relations, and they set a lot of that policy and stuff like that. But
Right.
none of this would happen if the American people weren't complacent. If the American people were
I'm not-
pro-peace and anti-war,
Yeah.
like this would never fly, But we happen to have like
yeah.
I
I'm
think
not saying that these
population-
people have like some superpowers.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are a class of people that make these sorts of decisions that are sort of beyond what your average person is capable of, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but they could just as easily have a kid that's an idiot and doesn't even get into it. So it's not like a
I'm
family.
not saying it's nepotistic or
It's
anything like that.
Sometimes it is. I mean, you
Or they could have a kid who's an idiot and he could become president, like George Bush.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have families like the Bushes and the Clintons
Yeah.
that have been, and the Kennedys, and those families have been in the high circles of power for decades and decades. But
I would extend this class even to the media and the people that are implicit in that. The people that construct the different narratives, right? I mean, these are all people that kind of serve the structure, the architecture of government, and as it stands right now, they tend to be pro-imperialism, and now they're like anti-gun, and they're pro-SJW, kind of,
I mean, are they a class, or is it just the media? It's just people that have got into media, and this is what.
Yeah, but they're
It's
connected
part of our
But you
culture.
don't think they're somehow connected with? Look. A class is just a way of understanding a group of people. I don't think it's like embedded in their genetics or anything like that. I'm not talking about like religious caste systems like you have in India. I'm just saying there's a certain class of people. They've been called the elites. They've been called
The Illuminati.
the Illuminati.
I just think that
the
line gets so
Freemasons. No.
blurry. That
Babylonian
line is so
Brotherhood.
blurry, and anytime you say the word
The
class,
People's Temple.
it immediately
Ooh.
brings up images of the India and feudalism and stuff like that, and I don't
Yeah.
want to confuse that with what you're talking about.
Kyle, you're not going to confuse our listeners. They're some of the most intelligent listeners around.
I know.
Well, I
they're
know
listening.
that.
So
I know that.
who is Mark?
Who is Mark?
If he was living today, he'd be living in his parents' basement, probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Or he'd be living
Or it'd be like a Vermont congressman.
Bernie, I've always kind of thought since the beginning, Bernie is one of the most dangerous candidates because of his populism. He's able to really get people fired up about inequality and injustice, and the fact that they can't afford health care and education, and they have student debt, and that's very appealing to people who don't have a
those things,
lot.
yeah.
I always see cars that have missing hubcaps and dents on them, and then they got a Bernie sticker. It's very consistent. He's appealing to.
Are you hating on the poors right now?
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm not
The
hating
poors.
on them. I'm just saying he appeals to them. He's like, look, I'm gonna help. I'm gonna give you a lift. I'm gonna give you a hand.
So did Happy Gilmore.
Wait, what did
I
Al
don't know.
Gore
What,
do?
I don't know about that.
He like appealed to those people. Remember, like
That's
Happy
right, he
Gilmore,
did,
the people
he
that would
did.
come out to like the golf matches.
That's right.
Oh yeah, dude, like the big giant guy.
You kind of sound like Shooter McGavin right now, Kyle.
I do.
What is that?
Shooter McGavin.
What is that? What does he? No, the big giant guy. What does he have on his shirt? He says like, "Guns don't kill people. I kill people."
Yeah, that
Doesn't
was
he
his
have a
boss
nail-
that he shot in the head with a nail gun.
The nail gun. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Comes out next week. That's the best.
Anyway,
But yeah, so let's go back to Rage for a second, because I
Okay.
would be very upset if I didn't.
Wow,
get
dude,
to,
you're really.
he's got one more thing
if
to
I
say.
didn't get to the fact that his band Inside Out before he joined Rage Against the Machine was far superior than Rage Against the Machine. It was
Who's band?
Zach De La
Yeah.
Roca
yeah.
or Tom
Roche.
Morello. I was
Yeah,
close.
Zach's band. Zach was the lead singer of a band called Inside Out. They were like a hardcore punk band from.
A gay hardcore punk band?
No. They were actually really fucking good, and they only had one album, and it was
Why
awesome.
is that mutually exclusive?
Do you have
No
this?
Spiritual Surrender.
Do you
was
own this
awesome.
album?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's like one of my favorite bands, and so I suggest you listen to them.
Was he rapping?
I'd be paying a lot to go see that reunion.
Did you bring it in your hat?
No, I didn't.
All right. Did we talk? We didn't talk about
We
Phil's
didn't
hat
talk about
yet.
hat.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't
kind
need
of
to
wearing
talk
like a
about
Rage
Phil's
Against the
hat.
Machine
I,
hat.
I want to talk about.
This is. It's funny you say that. This is the Imperial officer's hat. From
And it's
Star
awesome.
Wars.
And it's awesome.
Wow, dude. Why
And
would
it
you
needs
wear
to
that
be normalized.
in Anarchy Basement?
Because my wife.
We don't stand for that.
My wife said that she has never been less attracted to me when I was wearing this hat. So I said, "Well, I'm wearing it on the podcast."
I've never been more.
What?
So I've never been more attracted to you.
Hot
So it
damn,
all
that's
it
what-
all bounces out.
That
hot
thing is
damn.
The
fresh.
force is. We found balance to the force.
I think I
Bounce
just
back to
felt
the force.
Phil's cock twitch.
You did. You did.
It looks like a hat like the
Wow, it's a
commies
long
wear.
cock.
It does.
You
but
know, if you just put like a little like hammer
Imperial.
and sickle like pin
Yeah.
on there,
Mm-mm.
indistinguishable.
It's like
That's
a
a
shay.
fascist
It's like a
hat,
shay.
for
A
sure.
shay
it
hat.
is. It's a fantastic hat. I've always wanted to wear one of these hats when I was a little kid.
Where'd you
watching
get
Star
it,
Wars.
dude?
So my brother's in the 501st. A lot of
Is
people-
he?
Yeah. And
That's cool.
so I've always wanted to be in the 501st, but he joined first, and he's a TIE pilot. And
Really?
when you're a TIE cadets wear the hat, but he's now like full. He's got like the whole helmet, and everything.
Is this
He's
like a cult?
no.
no?
What is this
the
thing?
501st is a bunch of
Vader's
say,
fist.
right. They are the old line garrison is the Maryland version of the 501st. They are essentially reenactors of Star Wars, and they wear like all the Imperial outfits.
So they're
and-
reenacting something that didn't happen
Exactly.
in real life.
Okay.
I don't think you
Important
get a
question.
worse than a Civil War reenactor, but here we go.
How does one join if they wanted to?
You just go.
Do you
and
put a lightsaber
join.
up your butthole?
And then you can be like a I think they call it a page, not a page, but what is like you
A
help
scribe?
scribe. There you go. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. But you can just join. It's free. You don't have to spend any money. But
Scribe?
but it's like $700 if you want to get like a full stormtrooper's outfit. Like
Worth it?
it's got to be approved by them.
Really?
Yeah, it's legit. Like you have to.
Then
send-
so what do they reenact? Like
Nothing.
different
They just go
battles?
to like all sorts of different charity events. And if you guys ever been to Star Wars Day at a baseball game or football game or anything like that,
Mhm.
that's the
No, dude.
501st. They come out and they
Yeah.
meet you, and they take pictures with them and stuff like that.
Dude, they came out to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis one time. I
Yes,
saw 'em.
that's
Got
my brother
picture.
was there at Third Eye Comics, so
Yeah.
you probably met him there.
I wonder if
They
got
were
my
out at
picture
Brown
taken
Eye
with them.
Comics too.
Yeah, well,
So
he had
cool.
he was a TIE pilot, so he's got the big helmet and
Yeah,
jumpsuit.
but that's cool.
Yeah.
I knew they did Civil War reenactment, and I also have a friend in the Maryland LP who's into like
You have friends.
the Knights. Yeah. What is it like the Knights and
Knights
the
Templar.
No, it's
He's a
like
fucking Mason.
the Knights
they-
of the Round.
they
The
reenact-
Knights of the Republic.
there was a movie about this.
the Knights
like,
of the Republic.
they LARP or whatever.
the
you know?
old Republic.
You know what I'm talking about? LARPing.
Yeah, live action
Yeah,
role playing.
live
Yeah.
action
So
role
they
play, but
dress
for
up
what?
as like knights and kings and queens. And
Talking
they-
about medieval times.
They
it's
should
like
have
that,
a-
but it's real people that go out in the woods and like have
friends-
sword fights.
My friend's boyfriend worked at Medieval Times.
dude, they should do
Yeah?
Civil
Yeah.
War reenactors
What is
versus
he, the
the
bearded lady?
501st.
Now he rides horses. and shit.
Versus
Oh, that's
fire-
bad.
the LARPers,
Yeah,
the medieval LARPers.
Mhm.
Three-way battle.
that'd be cool. It'd be a nice like genre mash.
Well, the 501st goes to that. It's called. I forget what it's called. They go to the what is it? The Renaissance Fest, And they go there, and it's like the day of, I forget, they call it the day of something. I don't forget.
I bet people get pissed. They're like,
Yeah.
no, we're not playing that
It's like
right
the
now.
day of odds. Or so, yeah. So they go to that, and
This is
they
a
go to-
Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm so jealous. I don't have money to spend on outfits and stuff like that.
Well, you got
but
the
know what
hat.
They wear, but they
you
wear
have $15
they
for
look,
a hat.
They look like a biker gang. They go out and they have like vests with their like back on, like
The
whatever
back patches.
They have
yeah.
so many coins and patches, and I
Are
mean,
they
it's
listed,
in
are
depth. It's fucking in depth. It might be
Are
FBI
they-
might be watching them.
Are they listed as a hate group by
Probably.
Southern Poverty Law Center, the Maryland 501st or whatever?
Well, everyone is according to the Southern Poverty Law Center.
They're on the
sell
radar.
meth.
Yeah, one of them
Run
was
that.
white.
Wait, yeah, white. It's a white supremacist group.
right.
Because
Yeah, stormtroopers, their armor all white.
are there any black guys in it?
Not Phil's brother.
Yeah, not Phil's
Phil's
brother.
brother is all
He-
black.
Oh. He does wear all black, so I guess that's
Is
right.
he
Sounds- I don't
is
know.
he a Sith Lord or something? What is
No,
he?
no,
No,
no.
he's a
He's a
TIE
TIE pilot.
pilot.
Oh, TIE pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like the Warthogs.
cool
I think that's their
Does
their
he have the whole
division.
mask and all that?
Yeah, he's got like the whole thing. Yeah, he's all,
Does he have the fighter itself? Does he fly around?
No, he does not have a TIE fighter, okay? He does not
One
have a
day.
TIE bomber or a
His
TIE
car-
striker. He does not have any of those.
His car looks like a fucking TIE fighter.
He's got like paper mache.
I mean, you know, TIE energy is a real thing.
TIE
Yeah,
energy.
it's twin ion engine. That's what it stands for. It's an actual thing.
Twin
it's like a
ion
theoretical.
engine.
How did you know that and I don't know that?
Because
You got the hat. That's why.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
the hat.
You a Star Wars guy
The
too?
hat contains knowledge.
I
Wow.
love that shit.
Yeah, I'm a
Dude, what
loser.
is this shit? What is this Baltimore City Council thing you got here?
We looked at that last week. We had that
Um,
last week.
I was
Alex-
kind of
bought it.
drunk last week.
Me
Alex
too.
brought in a flyer.
yeah, kinda.
And
Alex-
this week.
Alex brought in a flyer from a Democratic candidate who
Oh,
was
right, right,
endorsed
right.
by the Greater Baltimore Democratic Socialists of America, and he promises that he's going to cut cap and eliminate water bills.
Wait, how do you eliminate water bills?
Well, it's
Free
funny you
water for
ask.
everybody?
It says it on here. The gist of it, and I can't find it at this minute, but the gist of it is he's going to have the big water users pay their fair share. the big
So
corporations.
this is like mini Bernie.
Here
Could
it
you
is.
imagine being this person?
by making
No.
big users like hospitals and corporations pay their fair share. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we
pay-
want you want to drive up price of healthcare even more?
right. It's just
Wow.
like I mean I don't know why
Jesus
like if
Christ.
somebody's using water. Jesus.
Stupid.
If somebody's using water, just a regular person, like, aren't they paying their fair
They
share
are.
by paying for the,
For
the,
the use of
consumption, what they use? But no, not in the
We don't hate
Democratic.
rich people, even though we hate rich people. We don't hate them.
Where is
That's
this?
all I
Where's
hear.
the inequality in water usage? You know what I mean? Like, how are you not paying your
Oh,
fair share?
dude,
Yeah.
don't get people. They'll talk to you about Nestle, man. If you talk about people inequality of water, like they're draining Africa's resources.
Huh?
You clearly haven't.
I don't think this water is coming from Africa.
Well, I'm saying like companies like Nestle, man.
Yeah,
like,
oh.
they rage at like they're taking it from the African people. That's why the deserts are always so dry.
Why are they going?
I don't think so.
You guys haven't been in these crowds, man.
I know what you're talking about. The exploitation of
Right, right.
natural resources by capitalist powers.
Dude, just
Yeah,
buy the album from Napalm Death
Yeah.
called Scum, and just listen to that, and you'll be aware of all these things that are happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The 1986.
And they'll tell you this
album.
with a straight face while they're like texting on their iPhone
Yep.
and like,
Yep.
you know, eating their fast food or whatever it is. It's like, get out
That
of
sounds
here.
great right now. I'm starving. Anyone got any fast food?
Man, I'm so disappointed. Like, Matt turned me on to this, like,
turned you on.
Popeyes, this Popeyes
Let's cut
chicken
that.
sandwich, that
Someone
spicy
cut that
chicken
up.
sandwich.
What's going on the soundboard?
Dude, it
Yep.
was so good, man.
Matt turns me on.
I
What is
know.
it? Hold on. You said something about spicy.
The
chicken.
Popeyes spicy chicken
Oh,
sandwich.
this shit
I
again.
mean, I know it's like a
it's
month.
not that good.
I thought it was awesome. The one
You
I
thought
had
it was better than like okay. Compare it to the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken.
The
sandwich.
one I had was way better.
Whoa.
Way better. Was not even close.
Whoa.
First of all, it was like
How
time
dare
and a half the size. It was way bigger,
You
and
know
it
what?
had this like
Time and a half.
awesome
Size does matter, Jared.
size matters.
It was not your pleasure.
Dude.
Okay.
He said.
It was a good.
was
It was a
not your
good sandwich.
pleasure.
So yeah, if you go out of here, the
people
nearest
got that.
Popeyes, Matt said he's like that's a good one. So I went there, and I was not
That's
disappointed.
like I go there every day.
I was not disappointed.
You think
I don't know. The
feel
one
like
I
you're
the one I had like, I mean, the chicken itself, the patty was fine, but then like the bun was like kind of soggy. It had like just a big pickle on it that just kind of fell off, and I was like, "This sucks."
Floppy
Like,
pickles.
where's the presentation, dude?
Pickles don't just fall off. They're in a sandwich in between the bun and the chicken. They don't just
They slide
fucking
out.
fall off.
They slide out,
But
bro.
when you work for Popeyes, it is not your pleasure like it is at
He
Chick-fil-A.
takes a bite and the
okay?
pickle just shoots out.
Yeah, dude.
It was too much
It
lube
was like
on
a
that.
cartoon, and then I slipped on
Yeah,
it.
too much fat lube on the pickle.
Too much
Yeah, there was
sauce.
too much. Too much of that special secret
But
sauce.
you know what though? I don't think I've ever had Popeyes before.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
dude, are you racist?
No, I just don't like fast food chicken, like actual chicken.
But
So
you
I'm-
go to Chick-fil-A all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fast
So-
food chicken.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
You see how fat I am? Yes.
okay, I probably had at least a dozen of the woke chicken sandwich, and
Wait,
Yeah.
what is the woke chicken sandwich?
it's the Popeyes chicken sandwich, dude.
Why is it woke?
Because
Because it's not
there's no
Chick-fil-A.
hatred involved,
There's
dude.
no hatred. It's no
Oh,
hate
right.
chicken, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, right. They didn't donate to the Salvation Army.
Yeah. So like, okay. So I
no,
think.
no hate there.
No
Yes,
hate.
so like I think it's pretty blaze. At least the spicy chicken sandwich is good. One time I ordered the spicy and they gave me the regular, and yeah, I would say not as good.
Damn, dude.
That's because you didn't go
Were
to
you
Chick-fil-A. If you went to
devastated?
Chick-fil-A, they would have made sure you had the right order.
Yeah, they would have been like, your pleasure.
It would've been your
Our
know.
pleasure is
I mean,
let's go
Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure,
ourselves.
pleasure.
It's they were getting swarmed, and there was like a ton of people. I mean, Chick-fil-A is always swarmed, fair enough, but
Yeah.
yeah. But at any rate, I think it's pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
I mean, I won't get it again,
All right.
ever in my whole life.
Well, one thing too, if
unless
you
I go to Popeyes.
if you
again.
go to the Popeyes, like if you go to the Popeyes, like right up on Route 40, that one is really awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Never been.
I would
Maybe
just
I'll-
get the fried chicken, man. Fried chicken's bomb.
Nah.
That's true.
Any fried chicken's good.
KFC, baby.
I don't like
KFC
I don't
the
like
other day.
KFC's chicken.
Rofo.
I don't like
Whoa.
Royal Farms. I don't like
You don't-
any.
What,
fast food
dude? You don't like
chicken.
the farm?
Nope. Nope. I ain't down with the farm, bro.
Wow.
The listeners probably don't know what that is.
Why?
Right? Royal
That's a
Farms.
Baltimore thing, dude.
Royal Farms
It's not
isn't
only
everywhere.
in Baltimore.
Some woman at the Libertarian Party, she said she went to Temple with the owner of Wawa, and she's like, that's the separation between Royal Farms and Wawa, is Wawa won't sell lottery tickets, but that's a lie.
Yeah, that's
I
got.
don't know why I just said that to you guys, but that's just what it reminded me. I've had a lot of Crown
People
Royal,
spend so
alright?
much money on lottery tickets. Every time I'm in there, it's like the person in front of me is like buying
Isn't that the
lottery.
most
It's a person who
obnoxious thing in
should
the world.
not be buying lottery tickets.
Exactly.
That should be just like saving.
Don't they like talk in their own language? Like, yeah, I'll take a pie on 73 and I'll take
Oh, yeah,
a
dude.
Q on 76. You're like, what? I don't know.
Then
what
they
you just
leave
said,
and they
man.
got the Bernie sticker on the back.
All I
It's like, God, guys, come on. You're
trying-
making poor
Just
decisions.
trying to hit the lottery.
bunch of degenerates.
You're
Yeah,
making
more
poor-
ways than one.
poor decisions. Let's get to the next topic.
What's the next topic?
Let's
The
talk about
LP
the
race?
Yang Gang, man. No, Yang.
Oh,
Yang
shit,
is
dude.
out.
Yeah.
Dude, we can't. The bag is now insecure.
Yeah,
The
it's
bag is
it's insecure.
It's insecured.
It's like me. It's insecure.
Wow, dude.
I don't
It's getting
think
deep on
that
this
was
podcast.
ever gonna happen. That
That
was
Flexville.
I think that was the most grossly blatant attempt at bribing people to vote for someone. I mean, of all the attempts
Dude,
I've
he
ever
said
seen, it was
his-
just like,
He
I will
lit-
give
he
you
tweeted this.
literally.
He was like, "I will literally give you $2,000 or $1,000 a month to vote for me." Like, but you gotta respect the honesty, though. I mean, because it's basically what every other politician is doing, right?
Yeah,
but they're
not
not.
as
They're not
blatant.
as like overt.
yeah.
Turn it down, then.
Time to do that isn't sound check,
Why
Jared.
do you spike?
I know.
When
I'm
you whisper like a
spiking.
little
I don't
church
know.
mouse.
Stop it.
I'm not even that.
What are you doing, Jared? Stop
I
spiking.
was
it-
loud during sound check,
yeah.
was I not?
You were loud.
I don't know
tonight.
how I get.
Yeah, I think
louder.
it's the microphone.
You get worked up. You get
He
excited.
goes.
Maybe it's the
he
high
even
pitch.
said he was like, I don't think I'm gonna get much louder than this.
Maybe it's all the parentheses next year.
Jared whispers in sound check, and
Yeah.
then when the show starts, he's like, yeah, he gets all excited.
Maybe I'm just harnessing the power of all Jews. I just killed Phil.
Yep, Bill's
All right,
done.
Phil's gonna fall out of his chair.
It's like when they open up the what is it? The
The Ark of the Covenant.
Ark of the Covenant.
All right.
All right. Anyway.
So yeah, Yang is out. The bag is not going to be secured.
Yep. Yep. And
What do
I
you
don't-
think about that? Do you think he's kind of a traitor to his people?
No, I don't think
Almost like a
I
race
think it was a
traitor,
lie
but
to
not
begin
really?
with, right? You know, I was arguing with somebody about it on Facebook, and they're like, the math is there, man. Like, it makes sense. Like, the money is there. The math,
he is
the math
Asian.
makes sense. I'm
Just
like,
saying.
there's no possible way, you know, you can do this without raising taxes so much. everybody $1,000.
Wait,
a
are you
month.
talking about? His UBI thing was
Yeah.
based on solid math.
They're already
allegedly?
running $1 trillion deficit every year, like borrowing an additional $1 trillion plus.
Well, here's what they say though. They say, yes, we're running that deficit right now. However, we're going to cut all the other welfare programs, and this is going to be the sole welfare program that we're going to have.
that was never going to happen.
This is what they say. This is how they justify it. But you're like, when was the last time a welfare program was cut?
Like never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't even talk about cutting like Medicaid,
Yeah, that's off the table.
That's off the
Social
table.
Security's off the
Social
table.
Security's off the table.
Food stamps are off the table.
It's all off the table. I mean, you can,
public
ID
school-
somebody for a food stamps, God forbid, but
Public school lunches.
yeah.
No, I heard something about food stamps. Trump changed the rules for food stamps, and now you have to show an income, I think, to qualify. Is that right? That can't be right. I heard that. It doesn't sound
But
right to me.
food stamps are done on the state level anyways. For a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Yeah. So
Like
I don't know.
I know Maryland does. I know Maryland has their own, what is it called? The
WIC.
the EBT.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean-
I heard
yeah,
this from
EBT.
I heard this from my
said
dad,
EBT.
who is
Said
not
UBT.
not a
No, I
reliable
said
source of
EBT,
news.
dude.
So
What?
I heard it from my dad, who's not a reliable source of political news. So it may or may not have happened. He was like, "Oh yeah, Trump did that," and he was like, "Man, it's like half as many people on food stamps now as there used to be." I'm like,
That sounds unrealistic.
I feel like I would have heard about this in the news. He's like, "Oh, they just didn't say much about it." I'm like, this doesn't sound right, because we
Yeah.
were at like 46 million people on food stamps
Yeah.
through the Obama years, at least.
40 million?
Yeah, 43
Did they
million.
get them Obama
That's like,
phones?
what is that? Like, there's what? How many people are in this country? 700 million?
No, 320, 340.
Yeah.
Yeah,
340 million.
300
yeah. So it's like
million.
10%. A little,
That's a lot.
or a little more
That
than
we're
10%.
on food stamps?
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
Dude, that seems really high.
that's what it is, man.
That's almost as high
Now,
as Matt right now. Okay,
I'm
guys?
I'm more sure of that. I'm more sure of that than I am of the of that Trump cut food stamps. That would have been huge news if he actually
think
did
it
that.
I
was for
remember
literally
seeing
one
something, but I
day.
think it was like he changed the rules, or it was like,
Yeah, I think there are some rules
You have
where
to, like,
you have to
drug
work like
test or
20 hours a
something?
week or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or you have to have
Yeah.
maybe making an effort to get a job. You got to apply to 5 McDonald's locations or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
5 different franchises in 4 days.
Anyway, so Yang's out.
the new- It's the new.
He gone.
Do you guys think Biden is done after these first
Yes.
2 states?
Yes.
I mean, he failed to crack.
And Warren.
10%.
And Warren. They're done. They're fucking done. It's now.
I don't know. I feel like Warren could maybe get back into it, but
I don't think she can.
I don't understand how Buttigieg, like, that has to be a complete operation.
It is.
I don't-
Dude.
yeah.
Have you guys?
What?
Do you guys know that?
We had this conversation last week.
Matt wants you to call
What?
him butt plug.
Oh, butt plug. Okay.
So butt
Butt
plug
plug.
had. Do you guys pay
Fair
attention?
enough.
Who donated? There's a list out there. You can find it. Google who donated to his mayor run in Indiana, the 4th largest town in Indiana. They're all a bunch of establishment Democrats. See, I have a family member who loves Buddha butt plug.
It's got to be kind of
He
weird, right?
Loves him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a moderate. Don't you listen to the debates? And I'm like, yeah, I listen to the debates. And he sounds like a fucking scumbag. Like, yeah, anyone can sound normal when there's in between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Anyone can sound like they could say
Yeah,
whatever he wanted. and
He's a
still sound
centrist,
normal.
right?
Yes.
Look, he's standing in the middle of them.
And then guess what? He had the
He's
nerve
in
to
the
tell-
center.
He had the fucking nerve. My family member had the nerve to tell me he's not for Medicare for all. He's all for Medicare who wants it.
Medicare, who wants it?
That's a difference because Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders say, yeah, we're gonna like completely
rid of the
outlaw
private market.
private insurance companies. Where he's like, no, anyone, it doesn't matter how rich you are. If you want government insurance, you can get it. That's Medicare for all. And he tried to tell me that's the moderate position. I said it's literally the Overton window. Like that is the definition of Overton window right there.
Yeah.
And like you're just God, it's so
Right.
frustrating.
Now he's the reasonable one
Because-
proposing the moderate solution
Oh,
compared to
dude,
them who want to
there's-
outlaw private
He's
insurance.
fucking dude. He's a plant. He's a CIA plant.
That has a lot
He's been groomed.
better chance of succeeding than abolishing private insurance, right? I think of it like schools. I kind of compare it to schools. You have public schools. There's a public option for everybody, and then a lot of people, if you have money, you'll pay to get your kids out of public schools and put them into private schools. So they could apply that same logic to healthcare and say that there's a public option, and then if you want to pay more, you can get private insurance that'll actually be good. Anyway, I'm not saying I advocate for that, but that's
sure,
what
sure, Kyle.
It's got more chance of succeeding than abolishing private insurance, where you're going to have a lot of like lobbying, a lot of private insurance companies who are going to go, hey, look how many workers you're going to put out of work. You're going to destroy our businesses.
I mean, that's the thing. Even if Bernie gets elected somehow, I mean, and he's performing well, and I think he has probably the best chance of beating Trump out of any of these candidates. I would think
They don't want him to.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think you're right.
Maybe they don't want it. I don't know. They're failing to keep him out of gaining this momentum that he has right now. I mean, he's already won the first 2 primaries.
They'll do something.
Did he win? No, he didn't win. Did he win?
Okay, I
first
mean,
one?
Iowa was. Who knows?
I
dude?
thought Buttigieg.
They both are claiming that they won.
He won.
Butt plug and him both claim to have won that.
I think Buttigieg got more. He got more delegates out of it. I thought he got one more
He
delegate.
He got 2 more delegates.
All right,
Either way, we're talking momentum-wise. I mean, Bernie's just running with it. I could see him getting the nomination. I could see him going toe-to-toe with Trump.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, my point is, even if he gets elected president, I don't think he's going to be able to get Medicare for all passed. I mean, you're going to have to get...
Of course he won't.
You're going to have to, even if you're able to somehow, do another blue wave and turn over both houses of Congress, I still don't think these people want that.
That was as good as a blue wall.
I mean, I think they're still, either sane like we are, or they're in the pockets of the lobbyists. It's going to take getting a whole bunch of AOCs and these other squad member type people, DSA types,
Squad.
up into these positions to actually make that happen. Which is good for people like us that oppose this sort of thing. But it's just interesting. People always sort of look at the president like, oh yeah, if we get our guy into president, that means everything we want is going to happen. All of our dreams are going to come true. I mean, even if Ron Paul got to be president by some fucking miracle, right? I mean, the best thing that he's going to be able to do as commander in chief is bring the troops home, which is huge.
That is huge, yeah.
So if Bernie does that, honestly, if Bernie gets elected and he does that, I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying if he did. I mean, I would think that would make him like one of the greatest presidents ever.
He could also potentially end the war on drugs. I think butt plug. I think he doesn't he take that position?
No.
I thought he heard it.
No.
I don't think that guy has positions, dude.
He doesn't have. Yeah. Whatever the CIA tells him to do, he does. Like, he's a fucking plant. Fuck him. And you know what though? But Bernie though, he's a fraud. He's a bitch. He's a fraud and he's a bitch. He is gonna bend over the moment the DNC says, "Hey, we want this guy." Okay, lube it up. Get some more of that fat lube and lube it up, and I'll take it. As long as I get my free plane rides, my 5th house, and a few million.
He'll be all right, man.
Yeah,
go back to his beach house.
Right. He's a scumbag, man. Like there's no principle. There's nothing. He voted for the F-35, the biggest disaster, $1 trillion disaster ever, and he voted for it because he's a bitch. And Scott Horton said it on a podcast just the other day. He said, "What's the point of being a communist if you're not an anti-imperialist?" And that's Bernie Sanders. That one sentence that boils it down. He's a fraud. He's at the end he can say, "Oh, I'm for this and this and this and this," until the DNC tells me that I'll get JFK'd if I don't do what they want, and then I'll do it.
Yeah,
and that's what it's like to me.
Well, I think if I've heard that it's possible it could be a contested convention if nobody separates themselves in the coming weeks. And I think Biden is expected to do well in South Carolina. I don't know if that could because they're I don't know.
Corn pop.
I don't know. Maybe they're less progressive down there. I have no idea.
No, he can't get the black vote. He can't do it because literally Obama won't. If Obama endorsed him, he would. But Obama's smart. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking.
Oh, Obama's staying out of this.
Yes, he hasn't endorsed anybody, and that's his. So he's running ads saying, "Oh well." Him and Mike Bloomberg are running ads saying, "Oh, Donald Trump said I was pretty good here and there." Donald Trump, and he's like,
Trump.
"Not Donald Trump. I'm drunk." Obama said good things about me, and that's what he plays. Like, it's not gonna happen. The black vote is not gonna go towards the guy who conspired to beat Corn Pop with a chain. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
That's a good nickname for him.
So where's the black vote going? Bernie?
No one. It's not going anywhere. No one can.
They're not going to vote?
They're not going to come. It's already proven. They're not coming out in the numbers that they would for someone like an Obama
or a Cory Booker or a black person, right? There's Cory Booker's out.
Yeah.
Is there? There are no more.
Nope.
Is Kamala gone?
Yeah.
She's gone.
Her end of watch happened a long time ago.
All right. so
That
the-
cop gone.
if they get,
Little piggy
if the rest
fried.
of the women drop out, they'll be down to just a bunch of white males that they have
And then
to pick
Bloomberg.
from.
And can you imagine that people would actually be enthusiastically just behind Mike Bloomberg?
God, if we had Bloomberg versus Trump,
They're
that's like the
rich,
battle
liberal
of the
billionaire.
billionaires.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well,
Did
look
anybody
at you
else
being
see-
a classist
Didn't
over there.
Bloomberg just say a couple days ago that he wants to bring in Hillary
Yes!
as his VP?
He wants to
Yeah.
bring in Hillary as VP.
Wait, in what political universe does that make any fucking sense?
Yeah, exactly. It's somebody who's already lost to Donald Trump. Like, how is that person going to bring any extra to your
Dude, that's like-
campaign?
No, you got to get Michelle.
That's like
get Michelle
being in the
Obama.
NFL and like going to the Super Bowl, be like, oh, we got a bunch of injuries. We got to like, well, this actually doesn't make any sense. But let's say in the offseason you pick up players from like the worst team in the league for your team. You're like, who can we get? Oh, let's get some Redskins players.
That was too low. That was
That was a
below
low
the
blow.
belt. Below the belt.
Hey,
I don't
what's
know.
with the memes about Mike Bloomberg and like all? I see all the social media, the meme guys, like posting these
memers.
ones
Oh, what,
about.
that was a real thing.
No,
Apparently
like,
that
is that
message
real?
that was real. That was confirmed.
That wasn't real, right?
Yes,
Was
it
it
was
really?
confirmed. That inbox screenshot was real.
How do you
Someone
know
get
that,
the docs
dude?
on it.
How do you know, dude?
It was confirmed through some channels.
It was
Well, Phil, explain it because I can't.
I
with
can't
words.
because I don't remember.
It's like they.
He
I don't
said
know.
something about he puts Lamborghini car like doors on a don't know
on a Ferrari.
on
or
a
something?
Ferrari. Yeah, like something about that. But apparently that was real.
And
that
then it
was
said like
confirmed.
something, and then it just said bottom text at the bottom.
Right. Oh my god. What? Like, I don't even. Who cares? He sucks. They all suck.
Like, dude.
I don't know. I think
All right.
the DNC is scrambling right now. Could you imagine being in charge? Who's in charge of the DNC right now? Who's?
Your mom?
No,
I don't
she's
know,
not.
man.
She's a boomer Republican.
I don't keep up with
It's not
DNC
Debbie
news.
Wasserman anymore.
No. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That bitch gone.
She did.
All right. Before you guys move on, I got to dip out. I got a
Yeah,
hockey
you're-
game.
You're like 5 minutes late.
I know.
Kyle. You're gonna
We
be
gotta-
late.
I have a
Go.
10 o'clock playoff game tonight, so it's a big game.
What's your team name? Hawks?
Bayhawks.
The Bayhawks.
Bayhawks.
Like the
Is
yeah.
he
lacrosse
playing
team?
lacrosse? Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
playing
like
lacrosse?
the lacrosse team. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Change it to
Them
the
C-
Tomahawks.
No, the CBD Oilers was better.
We're playing the JTF Blast tonight.
The Blast. Oh, dude, destroy the Blast.
We'll try.
Destroy them.
What about the Baltimore Blast, dude?
Nah, fuck the Baltimore Blast.
Dude, fuck you.
Fuck all the blasts. I want.
What kind
Kyle
of?
to
Oh, you want the
destroy
what?
it.
The what is it? The
Kyle, you better
Washington Warthogs?
Warthogs. What the fuck? I
No,
don't know.
you remember? You ever follow the?
Yeah. I remember.
Kyle,
I don't think I
okay,
remember.
you don't have 5 minutes to talk about Anarchapulco? 'Cause I think you have the documents on
Guys,
it.
Kyle
Okay.
will be at Anarchapulco this year.
He'll get
Okay,
punched in
so-
the face like Jeff Borg.
All right, so this next
I
topic.
got confused. Anarchapulco with the Anarchon.
Okay, so this next topic was on the board. Kyle had the docs on this.
But he just walked up them steps,
Yeah,
man.
so
What if he came back down as Kylie Wagner with like a wig on? How cool
Yeah.
would that be?
Oh my god, can we please get Kyle Wagner with the wig on? Please, with the goggles and helmet and everything. We got to strive for
I
that.
don't know. I mean, I
Let's
think,
just get it. Let's
I
just
think,
buy it.
I think Kylie Wagner is probably going to come on the podcast eventually.
Okay, if you guys sign up for the Patreon right now at dude, $5.
$1,000.
No, $5 level. I will use that money and I will go out and I'll buy goggles and the helmet and a wig and I will make Kyle wear it and he will have to do the whole podcast wearing that as Kylie Wagner.
How are you gonna?
Kyle's
do
not even here to agree to this,
I'll
dude.
do
This
it.
is ridiculous, dude.
I don't think that's what I'm about right now.
He's
Ridiculous.
about force. He's about the use of
Please
force. All right.
sign up to get
Hold
like
on.
5 people at a $5 level. I'll do it. I'll make it happen, guys.
Or just keep the lights on in Anarchy Basement. You know.
That
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But anyway, so what's the story about Anarchapulco before we dip out here?
Well, apparently Jeff Berwick was punched
So
at,
who is Jeff
at his
Berwick,
event.
to people
He's
who don't know?
Jeff Berwick is the dollar vigilante. He did a podcast called what was it? Anarcast.
Anarcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he does an event each year in where he resides, Acapulco, Mexico,
mm-hmm.
and it's called Anarchapulco. And Ron Paul just went there a few years. I believe he's there this year.
Yep. I saw a picture
And
of him.
there's like just like all sorts of famous celebritarians are there. And then apparently though, Jeff Berwick was punched by somebody.
Oh, he got his ass beat. If you look at the picture, there's a picture online. His like eyes all swell shut.
Hold on. John Vibes sent us the picture in the chat.
There you go. I miss John.
I miss that guy.
Yeah,
I love John.
I know. Every time I say
Wait, this
John
is you.
Vibes, come on, he's like, I'm busy.
Go buy his book.
What is he busy doing?
He's got a great book. Go buy it. If you're listening, just buy it.
Y'all have been memeing the shit out of this chat.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, look at this picture.
Oh yeah, his eyes all fucked up.
Yeah, he got
his
his
nose
eyes
is all
swole.
fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's a cool guy with a cool hat, smoking a
Do you
cigarette.
guys like him?
No.
I heard he's pretty shady as fuck.
Yeah, that whole thing where he was trying to get people to. He was like selling condos in Acapulco, and I can't remember all the details, but the vibe I got was like, okay, he's just kind of a shyster.
Right. And Rachel Blackfire, who was on the podcast a few weeks ago, she is there now with her boyfriend. So we got some PRL connections down there, I guess, now.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to have her on, and she can tell us about.
Would
her
you have
trip
him
to
on?
Acapulco?
Kyle, what is his name? Her boyfriend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jake McCauley.
There you go, Jake McCauley.
Yeah.
People like really hate his ass. They said like something about like comments he made like years ago about the age of consent, and like, anytime you talk about age of consent, everyone loses their fucking mind.
Yeah, I'll have to sit between him and Jared.
Dude, you don't sit between me and Arvin. He's got the same problem.
Right. Like, Jake doesn't bother me. Like Jake doesn't bother me, but I don't know. I don't know the extent of it. I'm also pretty much a whole bottle in of Crown Royal.
All right, so we're about out of time here. We're going to take it on over to the After Hours program.
It's Gain Central.
So if you want to gain access to the After Hours program, you can hit us up over at patreon.com/punk rock libertarians and contribute a minimum of $1 per month, and you will gain access to the After Hours program. If you can do more, that's awesome. But if you could do $1, that's awesome too. We also have T-shirts over